Hello, gamers and dragons. Today we're doing one of the most important things you can do in day trading, learning how to actually trade. I mean, you wouldn't fire up a new game like Last Train Out of Wormtown and skip the tutorial, right? Today we're going to do a replay lesson, a hands-on walkthrough of a real trade. I've invited a friend who's brand new to trading. She's watched a few videos but never placed a trade herself. Together we'll walk through each step and I'll let her make the decisions. Think of it like the trading tutorial mode without losing any gold pouches in the process. Let's get started. Today I have with me Mo, September 7th at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern, and this is the Sunday evening open, and we're sitting here at 4:59 p.m., and I'm going to press that play button. She's not done any trading. She's only watched some videos on YouTube, and she's watched my playlist on the 920 EMA day trading. Before she buys her laptop and sets up a funded account, we're going to see how much she's learned and if she's ready to get into trading. Mo, hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you're putting up with me today. Let's mark where we would set our profit targets. Here is an example. This is a swing level. In between here is another swing level, but we can mark this one and this one. And I'm kind of leaving them off the level because it's not really a horizontal line. It's more of a zone somewhere in this area. And it could even go as high as here. On the reversal, if we think the candles are going to be red and go down, where might you put your profit target?
Well, I guess that the first one would be the way down level.
Right here?
Yeah, there's one that's way down.
Okay.
And then I would do another one where the other dotted lines.
Okay, so we've got three clustered here, so we'll kind of put it together. So this one would be around $1,000. This would be closer to $2,000, $2,600, $4,545, which is rare to get in the evening trades. Down here would be $1,600. This would be $3,375. So let's go ahead and just pick an ATM strategy of 100 stop loss for $500, 400 ticks for a profit target, which is $2,000. Now this is NASDAQ minis, so that would be $500 stop loss with a $2,000 profit target. If you're using NASDAQ micros, that would be a $50 stop loss and a $200 profit target. So please don't get greedy. If you don't have this kind of money that you want to risk, you would definitely want to start with micros so that you're only risking losing $50 instead of $500, and your profit target is $200, which for an evening in trade isn't too bad. I'm going to have her tell me where she would get into a trade based on what she's learned. Let's go ahead and press the play button. Now, what would you be looking for today, Mo?
I'm looking for that cloud to get a little fatter.
It started out with a big red candle going down, but as Mo said, she doesn't want to do anything until this cloud gets fatter, and that is smart. Right now, it was a green cloud on Friday going up, but it was horizontal, and now it's leaning down with red edges. We want to wait until the cloud does something. Okay, Mo, tell us also what you're thinking on this.
I'm thinking that it's probably going to be a sell trade from the looks of it right now, but I would still like that cloud to be fatter.
Okay, so we've got the cloud isn't supporting what it is that she's looking at. Let's look at our 15-minute chart. What are you seeing on the 15?
The cloud is still super skinny right now.
Correct. Okay, so you want to be cautious getting into any trades when the cloud is skinny and flat like that. If we look at our Heikin Ashi for the 15-minute, it's kind of a red doji. It's mostly wick. That's always dangerous. Over here on our 5-minute Heikin Ashi, the actual Heikin Ashi is red, the top one color. I have the regular candles overlaid on the Heikin Ashi chart. The lighter red is the Heikin Ashi. The red is the actual candle. So on my chart, I have it set with the background is blue between 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. so that I can see my evening trades are on blue. Okay, so as Mo said, we're waiting for the cloud to be fatter. On our 15-minute chart, we have a red crossover, which is part of this cloud indicator. And over here on our 5-minute chart, we have a crossover. And on our 2-minute chart, we have a crossover. I've seen some people teach, as soon as you see a crossover, take the trade. If the 9 crosses over the top, take a long. If it crosses underneath, take a short. That's irresponsible. It can sit here and cross over and go sideways. Here's a green one. If you had said, take the crossover, look at that. Nothing happened. It went sideways. So we want something. So here on the 2-minute, we're getting some activity for the cloud is going down and getting fatter. So for shorts, that would be promising. What's the rule with the 50 MA, the white 50 MA moving average? If the candle is below, we're only going to do what?
If the candle is below, we're going to sell?
Correct. And if the candle is above, we're going to do what?
We're going to buy.
Correct. So right now we had this candle was above when it started the 50 MA. So we didn't want to take a short. And then it closed below, but this candle has been floundering between red and green, and it's not sure what it wants to be. So we want to be careful about just willy-nilly getting into the trade when the cloud is still flat. Right now they're on top of each other, and we want to make sure, and right now we've got a green candle. We've got a green candle over here. So now it's doing a tap back to the cloud on the 2-minute chart. So we want to watch this and keep an eye and see what's going to happen. But right now we have a green candle below the 50 MA, so we don't want to take a long because it's below. It's also not red, so we don't want to take a short. So we're just going to still wait and see what's going to happen. Let's go ahead and put this on a faster speed.
I still saw the candle switch to green for a minute and switch back.
So right now, we see that price seems to be consolidating. It's going sideways. The ratio is bad. We've got red, green, red, green. So we don't want to get in when the ratio is bad like that. We want some consistency. For shorts, we want price to be a red candle below. For longs, we want to be a green candle above the white 50 MA. Here is the cloud tool, the MACrossBuilder. And I'll show you real quick so that anyone watching can copy and duplicate what I have if they desire to do so. Okay, so what do we have here, Moe?
It looks like a nice fat green one.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't see the cloud fattening up.
Correct.
Yeah, the candle looked pretty fat.
On a regular candle, they're all going to be the same width. But if you say equal volume based on what's behind it, we've got 353 here. 356 here, as opposed to over here, this candle was 16,000.
Right.
So it's still just getting kind of wimpy little volume. Remember, I warned you earlier about the crossovers that you can't trust getting in on every single crossover that you see. Yes. Because here we had a red crossover, now we're having a green crossover. And so that red crossover has just been nullified, and now we're up above and we're looking at a green cloud just happened. Okay, we have our speed set to 4 times so that we don't have to wait for this trade. Hopefully we'll think fast and get in when we should. Now it's normal when price goes up off the cloud, the price can also go back down and tap the cloud again or get close to it and then continue long. Now with our $500 stop loss, let's look at from about where we're at, where that would be. Okay, so once we actually get into the trade, we can adjust it so it's just below the white 50 MA if we're going to be taking longs. So what do you think? Would you start thinking about getting in now? Is your cloud good?
It's starting to look good.
Do you want to at any point get in now?
Yes.
Should we do it on this candle or wait for the next candle?
No, I like that candle.
I never recommend getting in at the top of a candle. This is a 5-minute candle. Over here we see a 2-minute candle, and there was a kind of a zone built here. And so this has now been somewhat of a little breakout. And so we're waiting here maybe for a breakout here. So let's just wait one more minute to see what happens on the next candle. Also, one more minute is also 5:30, and that's when a new 15-minute candle will come up over here. It's always pays to be patient and wait for that 15-minute candle, which is green, and now we can get in. So let's go ahead and hit buy on this. Moy wanted to get in when the cloud was getting fatter. And so we could have gotten in on this. She would have been safe, but there's no guarantees because it could have hit this swing level and reversed right back down, especially when you're looking at a 5:30 candle and the 15-minute candle could have just said, no, I'm going to be red now. And so it is always safer to wait, even though you look at it and you go, man, I could have made some money. We're almost to this level here, and we can see if it wants to reject off of this previous pivot level that we had marked. Moe, that candle is turning red. Are you worried?
I do see that. I think that's normal.
It is normal. Now, let's look at over here at our Heikin Ashes. What does that tell you?
It's telling me it's still green.
Exactly. So even though the main candle is red, over on the top, overlaid onto that candle, it has a very strong green Heikin Ashes saying green is still in charge. Don't fret. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and stay in the trade. Our 15-minute Heikin Ashi is also showing a very strong green. Our 15-minute candle is also green, and so we're not going to worry about it. Let's look at our 2-minute candle. So this was a red back here, and then they turned green, so there's no reason to freak and get out of the trade. We're already sitting here around $300, but our stop loss is close to $500, and so to take a profit at $300 when you were risking $500 isn't, the ideal situation. You want to at least make more than your risks so that way, if you have a trade in the future and you do lose, then you've covered yourself by making more money on your wins.
No, we're still looking good.
Okay. Now, would you move this stop loss up?
Yes, I probably would because I'm brand new and I wouldn't want to lose it.
So we could move this up maybe halfway, so that we're below the cloud. The top is your 9 moving average. The bottom is your 20 moving average. When the bottom of this cloud gets closer to our entry level here, this is our entry right here where you see the price.
Okay.
When the bottom of the 20 cloud gets closer to this, we're going to move our stop loss up into our trade so that there would be absolutely no loss. I mean, we could break even at zero and just lose the fee. Now, I don't like to break even at zero. I like to break even around $5 to cover the fee.
Which we can do that.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. Oh, that's $35.
Oh, yeah.
So you can get $35 on this trade instead of losing $500 if it goes south and we get one of those zoops where it goes zoops down, knocks people out. Because sometimes the big guys will try to zoop you out by sending a candle that goes way down and then zoops right back up again to knock everybody out that entered, long, and then they'll continue long and steal your money. Okay, so we're now at 6:06 p.m. So when we started this trade, it was back here on this candle at 5:35. And so we've been in this trade for 30 minutes. Even I've got the speed at 4 times, so we haven't been in there. But if you were doing this live, it would be a 30-minute that you've already in the trade. But it's Sunday evening. What else do you have to do? Put your laptop on your lap, get your pretzels out, and I hate pretzels. And watch TV while you watch the charts. And evenings are pretty slow, so you don't get really big candles, but they can still have a bunch of little candles moving in the right direction. So you can see this 5-minute candle was pretty short. This one was short, this one was short, but they're still moving in the right direction. I call this crawling the cloud crawl, riding the cloud. Basically, you've got these candles just steadily going up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mark this trend line here. And you can see that the candles have been following this trend line going up. We want to keep it on the lowest candle wick. So we're going to redo our trend line here. So this is another thing that helps you to know to stay in the trade. If the candles are staying above this trend line, you can feel more secure about continuing in your trade. Another thing though, if a candle does break down below this trend line, Moy, would you be worried?
Perhaps.
Like right now, we've got a red candle.
On Kanashi, it's still green.
The high Kanashi still green here.
Oh, yeah.
The 15-minute one is green. The 15-minute candle is red, though. Do you want to move your stop loss up more?
Yes, please.
Where do you want to put it? Tell me when.
Okay. Let's touch the top of the cloud.
Top of the cloud? No. It is very normal for price to go back down and tap the cloud.
Touch the cloud. All right.
So it'll go back down. It could go back down, tap the cloud, and go on again. It also could go back down, tap the cloud, and go a little bit inside and move on again. So I wouldn't advise putting it at the top of the cloud. But I mean, when you're trading, you could do that. But I would like to stick out this trade. We're going to go ahead and remove this blue line because we don't need it anymore. Okay, so it did break down, and that was the question, is would you freak out if it broke down below the trend line? And the answer is you shouldn't, because it's normal for the price to go back down and tap the cloud. Our cloud is still ascending. It's not as sharp as it was here. It's kind of, flattening, but it's still going in the right direction. And in one of my videos, I talked about the color changes during a trade, that you could have 3 to 5 color changes before you reach your profit target, and that's normal. So we've already had 1, 2 color changes, so that's normal. So let's not freak out. They'll go up and then they'll sell off a little bit, go up, sell off a little bit, and so we're going to go ahead and stay in this. Do you want to move your stop loss up?
Yes.
About halfway in here?
Yes. Yep, that looks good.
Price is continuing upwards. And we're hoping that it'll hit that 2,000 we have marked. But when it hits this area here, it broke through this line, so we can remove it. It is kind of floundering, and we've got a nice wick going on there. Still green. Our Heikenashi's green. Our 15-minute is green. We've got a new 15-minute candle. It's starting out green. So we just had here over on our 2-minute chart, one little candle going down red. So if we were on a micro, we would be sitting at $150. On a mini, we're looking at $1,500. So don't be greedy and trade minis if you don't have the money. Trade on an MNQ, this one, for the micros. And then that way you risk less, you win less, but the more trades you do, you'll make up for it and start making some money. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go in and just take a lot of trades. No, you want the trade to be perfect. You want that A+ trade. You want everything to line up. In this case, we had our crossover happening here at 1720. We had our price was above the 50 MA. We had the cloud started to ascend. We had it break out of this swing level. So let's look at this chart, see how it compares to the other day. So on Friday, starting at the open, the cloud was green, went up a little, then it plunged down, had a crossover, got big and fat, and went down to here. Then it kind of floundered sideways all day long. Then it went up a little, floundered sideways. So this is our Sunday evening trade, and it is continuing to go up.
Just very slowly.
Okay, so now we're getting our third color tap here. So we started here.
Do we want to get nervous at 3 tap?
No, I'm saying you can get 3, sometimes up to 5. So we've got the candle. It hasn't hit the top of this yet. So we're not worried. We want to count the taps after the crossover, not after our entry, because this is a perfect example of a trade that you can get in. My mouse is shaking because I'm freezing to death and I'm shaking. But say, for instance, you didn't get in right at this candle and you opened your charts and you saw this cloud crawl happening, and so you got in here. So you could, at this point, be making $1,000. We want to start counting the reversals after the crossover here, after this cloud vertical shows that there was a crossover. Okay, so as I said, it's normal for price to tap down to the cloud, but our cloud is still ascending. Now we can bring it in halfway here in case it is going to go south and just let it ride from there. Okay, so over here our Heikin-Ashi has turned red, but this one is still green. This candle is still floundering around between red and green, and this candle is green. So that's somewhat reassuring, isn't it?
Somewhat.
You're supposed to be the one in this relationship that's more daring than me. Don't get all squeamish on me. That's my job to be squeamish.
This is my first one, and you know, you want to make money.
Yeah. Okay, so price has now gone sideways and even headed back down a little bit.
We've kind of going sideways.
So let's start our trend line over again. Let's go ahead and start with the bottom of the green candle. And so our low is there, so it kind of broke out and went sideways for a little bit, but it's still green, so we can stay in. And let's remark this. So basically, even if it breaks out below our trend line, number one, start paying attention. Number two, it hasn't hit the top of the cloud yet, so don't freak out, okay? If it hits the top of the cloud and starts going down into it, red, then in that case, I mean, that is pretty normal sometimes too, because it will sometimes tap the back of the 20 MA on the cloud and then reverse again. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, if it does tap down and go back down here to the bottom of this, that's $560, you know, saying, okay, it's going to tap that 20. To me, it's easier to just get out and then get back in again later than it is to lose that $520. Okay, so we're still going sideways. We have here a little swing level, and so it's consolidating.
Heikin-Ashi is turned to a red.
The Heikin-Ashi's red, she's pointing out. It's a little doji Heikin-Ashi, though. If we look at this, this is a little red one. It's going to hit the top of that cloud. Like I said, that can be normal. Now, one thing is when it hit the swing level and went down and rejected off of it with these wicks, and then went back up, rejected off of it, went red, back down, rejected, went back up, rejected, went down, rejection, went back. Okay, so now it's breaking out, it's turning green. I would say that we can safely say we're still in this trade. So our Heikin-Ashi is green over here. It's green here. We've got a 15-minute cloud that is green. And our 2-minute is showing that it's trying to break out of this. And so if you feel like, oh man, I just dodged a bullet, I got out of here, you could take profit now if you wanted to. We're sitting at a $1,645.
We're still looking good.
Okay. Yeah, and that's one thing people make a mistake. They're like, oh no, okay, now it's good. I'm going to let it get back to here and I'm going to take profit. Well, when it's looking good and the candles are green, why are you taking profit when it was still green? Now it went back down to the swing level. It wicked back down inside and now it's red. But this is Sunday evening, and sometimes on Sunday evenings, it'll just crawl up all night long. And you can just ride that cloud all the way up for hours. In fact, we're sitting here at 7:13 p.m. We started watching the charts at 5 p.m. So that's 2 hours and 14 minutes. We've been on the charts Sunday evening. You can sit there and watch your show while you're monitoring this trade on your laptop.
And now we've had about 5 reversals.
Yes, this is true. Okay, so we're tapping the top of this 9.
And we are patiently waiting.
Now, if you want to get out, we can get out now. Just let me know. We can move our stop limit down. What do you want to do?
I want to move the sell stop up a little more.
Okay.
I want to wait and see if this stays at a green or.
Well, it's floundering around here. Do you want to go ahead and take profit?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say,
kind of staying a little flat.
We're going to go ahead and say close on this.
Order canceled. Order submitted.
Okay, so we made $1,570 on that. Now, if we had entered where you wanted to enter, that would have been.
Yeah, but you were right. That was a little risky.
About 1,800. Okay, so let's speed this up and see what happens next. I'm going to open the chart up here, and we're going to make this go up 100 times, 1,000 times.
Ooh.
Okay, let's pause that. So here's where we took profit. Wow.
Yes, wow.
Yeah, it did finally go down here. So let's look at what happens to this cloud when it starts going south. So over here, the cloud is still ascending. We're still getting some momentum, just not as steep as it was here. It hit here, went back down below our trend line that we drew, and then it went sideways. Then it turns red, and then the cloud starts turning red, saying red is taking control. That's always a sign you better be looking at getting out here. Price had broken out below our marked trend line, and it was also going into the cloud. So we got out at a good spot, but we'll say that we lost $120.
That's like a meal at McDonald's.
How many people are you taking out to McDonald's? Of course, I don't go to restaurants, so I don't know how expensive they are nowadays. I would say a family of 5 Olive Garden, but then I haven't been out to eat for years. If you were using a funded account with the trailing loss for your audition, this would have dinged you minus $120 for not taking profit up at the top. And that's why it's good to set a profit target that you can hit so that it blows through it and you don't lose anything with it going south. It hits it and it's like you got 100%. You didn't have it go back down and lose anything.
Yeah, so if we had taken a 1,000, we would have hit that and blown through it.
Yes.
We could have gone back in.
Yeah, you could have gotten back in for another trade. The problem with getting back in for another trade, so say for instance here, if we hit $1,000, that would have been around here. Where would you get back in the trade? When I want to get back in a trade, I want a red candle taps back down to the cloud and then get back in. Well, that red candle had already happened here, which if you were getting in late at night and missed all of this, you could have said, oh, that cloud is still steep. I'm going to get in here. And then you get in at the top of this red candle on the next candle as it's going back up. So this went down. It starts going back up. When price gets above this red candle, you can enter and you could have gone up to another $640.
So this one might not have been a good one to get back in, but I guess if we had gone at that 1,000, we would have blown through it.
Yes, but you wouldn't
Okay.
have made your 1,570 also. Let's count our red candles. From the crossover, we have 1, 2, 3 reds, and we stayed in, as Mo pointed out to me. We were already sitting at 5 reds, 6, 7 reds. So I let it go too long. That's on me. She was smarter than me.
That's okay.
See, we'll make a great team.
We'll do good together. That's what counts.
So here we have our trade. We got the $1,570 from it. And Mo, you did really good for someone who's never traded before.
I'll get there.
If you're interested in learning how to trade, watch my playlist. That's it for today. If you learned anything new, please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.